What's going on, everyone? I am Jaye the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about rapper Fetty Wap. He got married, over a month ago? And now the marriage seems to be crumbling because more than about 60 days after getting married, it seems that his wife, Leandra, a woman I believe he met off social media, okay? The marriage seems to be crumbling because she's accusing him, well, not necessarily him, but she's saying that during the short marriage, she's been dealing with all sorts of quote unquote abuse. Let me just say this. Fetty Wap, when he went public with this relationship and this marriage, he had his, baby mothers who weren't too happy about this, one in particular. And maybe that is what she's claiming that she's dealing with. But I see it as her wanting out of that marriage. I don't know if she thought that he had more money than he claimed to have had, that he had a lifestyle that she thought that he had, that he probably doesn't have. This is exactly why you just can't marry women nowadays anymore. You just can't. Now, I will say this, though. If you look at her Instagram, she presents herself as an Instagram model, but she does own I believe a flower business. But you're showing your assets. So, once again, this is a female who gets more value from herself, her body, than her actual business. Now, she posted this on social media. Let's see if I can find it. She posted this. I'm a tough cookie, like I've been through some ish, but these past 30 some days of marriage, my first marriage at that, child, it's been a lot. I have never ever dealt with so much abuse, ever. My vibe is positive, my vibe is loving, my vibe is caring, my vibe is real. A picture was painted, a completely different one was presented. All is well, though, and will always be well. I'm obviously taking an IG break. Either you need to be more specific or you need to not say anything, because when you put up posts like this, people are going to assume, okay, that Fetty Wap done something to you. They're going to assume that he is putting hands on you, unless you make it clear. Is it the commenters that are getting under your skin? Is it the baby mamas? Is it the fact that he may still deal with those baby mamas? Ain't that. You're claiming that you're dealing with, someone putting hands on you. That's how it's being perceived. So if you want out of this marriage, you need to just say so. Don't put out things and not understand that there's ramifications for this. This could be used against them. Unless you don't care. Because you should care. Because you're married to this guy. And now it seems like you want out. Now, I know they had the courthouse wedding. They didn't have the huge mega wedding. Maybe that's what he told her they would have once they had the courthouse wedding. But see, Fetty Wap, this is why this guy is a very terrible decision maker. Okay? All these baby mamas. Then you marry this female who seems like a clout chaser. Okay? Because if she was a real person who has positive vibes, why are you getting with Fetty Wap, a guy with 5 baby mamas? Why would you put yourself in that situation? You don't even have kids with him. And see, this is why I speak on the red pill philosophy the way that I do it. because a lot of people don't understand that you have guys out here who will perpetually make terrible decisions, but you have females who will make even worse decisions by getting with guys who are clearly dysfunctional. She rushed into this marriage because she thought she was going to marry a rapper, that it would help her flower business, that it would gain her a bigger social media following. Look at Lamar Odom and the female he's with, Sabrina Parr, right? Clearly she married this man to build her own brand. She's gained followers on Instagram. She's gotten engaged to the guy. She's trying to get a reality show. You know, that's clearly a come up. Clearly a woman taking advantage of a guy who's clearly mentally wounded. And then you got Fetty Wap, who saw a woman who looks good, who saw a woman who was desperate to be with a rapper, who was desperate to date somebody who's in the industry, because if that wasn't the case, she wouldn't have married him as quickly as she did in a courthouse wedding. Now, for any of you ladies that are listening to this video, would you marry a man at the courthouse after not even knowing him that long? He got 5 baby mamas. He's rushing to marry you for whatever reason. I think that it could be a situation where she refused to have relations with him unless, you know, he married her. And seeing the type of guy that Fetty Wap is, that's probably why he married her. And now that they've been together for a little while, he realizes that he doesn't really like her like that. And once again, we have a situation. Where you have a man who's so thirsty. You have a man who's so weak that he's willing to risk it all to marry a woman who doesn't even love him like that. Who he doesn't even love like that. But a chance to get with this woman was worth it. And she, for somebody who I don't think is like not intelligent, you know, she has her own business, yes, but once again, she parades herself on social media like a lot of these Instagram models. I mean, she may be a nice person. I'm not saying that she's a bad person, but she made a bad decision because now she's regretting it. Now you're getting on social media claiming that you're dealing with abuse. Like, that puts him in a bad spot because people are going to assume it's from him. Because you're not being specific, because you know you want out. It's not what you thought it was. You know? You thought that, I guess you'd be living in this mansion, that you'll be, you know, getting ready to have a bigger wedding, and that hasn't happened. He's probably not paying you as much attention. So you hop on social media to talk about how bad things are. Well, from some of the comments that I have seen, there are people who don't feel sorry for her. That they don't. I mean, it was a bad omen when you got married to this guy at a courthouse. See, I'm only assuming. I'm not saying that this is 100% factual, but this is why women should not be trying to withhold relations from dudes, thinking that it's going to keep that guy. It's going to make that guy marry them and commit to them, because once he gets what he wants, he's going to end up walking away. You do know that, right? I just hope that people understand that when you are a woman who clearly, I don't believe has any kids, right? You've never been married before, right? You have your whole life ahead of you. You have to choose the right men, because what's going to happen is that you're going to have other women who are going to look at your situation, okay? And you yourself, you're going to start blaming a whole group of men because you decided to marry a guy you weren't ready really to marry. You weren't really ready to marry. You married that person, what, because of promises? And those promises aren't being kept? he's not prioritizing you. Like, what did you expect? Now, I can understand if you have people who are in the comment section, you have people who are trolling you and you want to get away, but you should make that, clear instead of being ambiguous with it, because then people are going to assume. People are going to assume. So you gotta be clear. Is it him? Is it commenters? Is it family members? Is this his baby mamas? I think the first mistake that she made was she decided to date a guy, okay, who had a whole bunch of other women that he's probably still dealing with. And why not? They are the mother of his kids. But again, these women out here, no matter how educated they are, no matter how many businesses they own, they always out here chasing behind rappers, chasing behind athletes, chasing behind the 15% of society. And what ends up happening is when that person isn't who you think they are, you're ready to get out of the situation. But you should have seen the warning signs before you said I do. But you said I do anyway. And now you're putting out things and people think that you're talking about him, when really you're talking about the bad decisions you may have made. This is why women got to be more smarter daters. Just because a guy has a big social media following and he shows money in his Instagram posts, you gotta understand that money going to child support. That money is going straight to his kids, man. It's not. He's not gonna give you that lifestyle financial that you thought he was gonna do. You have, and what's funny is that it's always these women, man, who have the potential to do other things, to have a successful relationship, a successful marriage. They choose to go and get with these dysfunctional guys just because they believe in the dream that they were sold. And now you're seeing the regret.